My name is Landon Jeray Morgan. I'm here with my beautiful wife.
Hello, I'm Rotunda Morgan.
And you are tuned in to another episode of Living More with the Morgans. You guys, it's been a minute since you guys have seen us. And man, we've been kind of missing in action, babe. But you guys, we are back for a all new episode of Living More with the Morgans. And right now, you guys are tuned in on several different channels throughout social media, and right now we've got you for the next hour, so we don't want you to go nowhere. Stay glued to your monitor, stay glued to your phone, wherever you're watching us right now, on any device right now. Please do us a favor. Go ahead and share it on your wall.
Please.
Right now we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and we'll soon be on Instagram and TikTok. But for right now, you guys go ahead and get on all of those platforms and start sharing the broadcast on your wall. Start inviting people, start tagging people. Y'all know what to do. Come on now.
Share.
So tag folks up in the broadcast, you guys. You got us for the next hour or so right here on Living More with the Morgans. And so we're just going to do a roll call, roll check, just to make sure that you guys are hearing us loud and clear. Everything is coming across clearly on your end. And if it's not, then we're going to fix it and we're going to do what we need to do, you guys. And so just to make sure that you guys are hearing us, let us know in the comments that everything is coming through crystal clear. You guys are seeing us. You guys are hearing us. Why? Because we're trying to do this thing. We're going to always do this thing in excellence, and we're going to represent you guys. And so we appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you so
Our very
much.
own spiritual moms is in the building.
And
Prophetess. Papa don't? Okay, I don't see Papa yet. They are in the building. Yes, she said Papa and I are here. So
Thank
Prophetess
you so much.
Beverly Anike and Papa Sean Anike are in the building right now on Living More with the Morgans. You guys, they are tuned in on the curved 55-inch joint. Yes, they are tuned in right now, high definition, 4K. He wants us to know that, and we're gonna shout you guys out for that. And so you guys, if you're tuned in right now, please take time to share on your wall right now. We are on all the social media platforms. And right now you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Living More Morgans. Go ahead and connect with us on Facebook. You can go ahead and like us and follow us there. Right now we are broadcasting live on that page. We're also on Twitter. If Twitter is your thing, we are broadcasting live right now on Twitter. You can find us there at twitter.com/Live More Morgans. It's a little shorter, Live More Morgans on Twitter. And then you can also find us on YouTube. We want you to subscribe. Get that subscribership up, you guys. Let's get that up and going. And you can find us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. It's on youtube.com/@Living More Morgans. And then we want you guys to connect with us on our social media platforms. We're brand new to TikTok, so you might not see a whole bunch going on right there right now on TikTok, but we want you guys to go ahead and follow us on TikTok. TikTok, I can't never say that, man. What's up with that? TikTok, yeah. Okay. TikTok.com/@Living More Morgans. And then we're also on Instagram, you guys. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Exclusive content will be on Instagram. Exclusive videos that you're not going to see nowhere else. You're not going to see it on here. You're only going to see it on our social media platforms, y'all. So bigger and better things are coming right now on our social media channels. So if you're on Instagram, go ahead and follow us at Instagram.com/Living More Morgans, you guys. And so we want to hear from you. This is an interactive. Thank you, honey.
Show.
I'm talking so fast, I guess.
So in other words,
I'm lit tonight. That's what it is.
He's lit tonight.
I'm lit tonight, y'all.
It's been a minute, so it's interactive. Please share. Please comment everything.
Absolutely.
Even if there's some future.
See, now you touch.
I'm doing it. Future shows that you want us to do, let us know.
Let us know. You guys hit us up in our DMs. Hit us up in our comments.
Absolutely.
That's the only way you can hit us up in the DMs,
right?
And so hit us up with your suggestions. What do you want to hear from us? What kind of topics do you want to discuss right here on Living More with the Morgans? Everything is pure. Everything is kosher. Everything here is you know, it's tempered down. Ain't no fussing, ain't no cussing, ain't none of that gossip, ain't none of that mess, you know, all that drama and stuff. We ain't got time for that.
No, we're here to live.
We're here to live and live more, you guys.
And we want you to.
Absolutely. This is why it's called Living More with the Morgans. And we want you to live more with more life, more love, and there's so much more to explore, you guys. And so we want to get tonight's show kicked off because this is going to be part 2 of our show, our first show that was at the beginning of the month of March. And that show was part one of our spring, summer vacation, vacation extravaganza, if you will. We had to, we had to do it big for the vacation because people were getting ready to go on spring break and, take our time with the family and the kids. And so that show was a cool show to just to kind of introduce some destinations that we've been to. And y'all, if you haven't seen that show, you can go back into our archives on YouTube and on Facebook, and you can check out the first show, which was called Y'all Trippin'. And so for tonight, part two, we're going to continue in that theme because, quite frankly, y'all still tripping. And that's what we on tonight, you guys. Y'all still tripping. Why? Because the time is coming where we are finna to get on planes, get in cars, get on trains, and we about to go see the world, you guys. It's time. Regardless of what's going on out there in the news, all the craziness and stuff, you are protected. If you belong to God, you a child of God, you protected. You ain't got to fear none of that. So you can get on the plane, first class, or if you're in economy, if you gotta do economy right now, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong. Just get there. Get there comfortably. Get there safely. And go explore and go see the rest of the world, y'all. So today we still tripping. And that's what we're going to talk about today because we got some new destinations that we want to bring up. But before we do, we got to do the roll call again. My man, Matthew Dixon is on tonight. Our neighbor is in the building. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, Matt?
My man is on tonight.
Thank you so much.
Man, my man always tuning in. He's always supporting.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook. Usually he's on YouTube. Usually he's on YouTube, hiding on YouTube. And we can't see those who are on YouTube right now, you guys. We need some more monitors and screens. So if y'all want to donate, y'all can do that. But we're going to, as we grow the show, we'll have more monitors and way that we can see that you guys are on the other channels. And so shout out to everyone right now that's on our YouTube channel. Unfortunately, we cannot see you, but please feel free to comment, hit the chats on there, hit some likes, hit some subscribe buttons on there, hit the bell icons, do all that good stuff, that YouTube-y stuff, so that we can know that you are in the building with us, you guys. And so shout out to my man Matt. Tamika Green Long is in the building. She is on tonight.
Thank you, sis.
Big, huge supporter of us and Living More with the Morgans. Is absolutely. And my man Russell Long, he is in the building. He says, "What's up, family?" What's going on, Chief, man? Thank you so much for tuning in. I know you guys are busy. Y'all over there planning and plotting to make them millions and billions. I know what time it is. We know what time it is.
We know what time it is.
We know what's going on. But you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I know you guys got the kids and stuff, so it's always appreciated when you guys take out the time to tune in. So shout out to the Long family. And again, if we can't see you and if you're on here, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. But go ahead and share it on your wall. Let people know that right now you're tuned in with Living More with the Morgans. And again, we're going to kick off tonight's show. But before we do, I got to shout out my man, the man, Vandale Andrew. And this brother is a brother from another mother. And I'm going to go ahead and, while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and poke him in here and get him up in
tag V.
Tag V, just to let him know that we are talking about him right now. And so, you guys, if you don't know Vandale, you need to know Vandale.
Vandale. Gosh, he's awesome, man. He's played at my birthdays, and he was plotting with my husband when we were getting engaged.
That is the truth.
And my husband and him have just, done music together and produced and all of that. If you guys don't know Vandale Andrew, I'm telling you, it's a must that you know Vandale Andrew. Vandale
Andrew is a phenomenal saxophonist. I consider him like my brother. And this guy has taught me things in the music industry, just taught me how to grind, how to market. I mean, this brother, he don't even know it, but I tell him, man, there's things that you have taught me, and he has over the years. And he is a phenomenal musician, and he just released a brand new album with R&B singer Raheem Devon. He's got a collaboration on there as well with I believe it's the Colleagues, And these dudes are producers on it, and these boys are tough.
Wow.
And so Vandale Andrew has dropped a new album with Raheem Devine and the Colleagues called Love Euphoria. So for all my people out there, all my married couples, even my single people, y'all need to go pick up that album right now on all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Rhapsody, you name it. Wherever you get digital music, that's where you can find it. And so definitely shout out to my man Vandale Andrew. And my brother's playing all the time here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and doing big things. I've had a chance to be a part of his band. I was a musical director, keyboardist a couple years ago. I also have done some album covers and artwork and different things and marketing things for Vandale. So it's always a pleasure shouting this guy out, man. And also, the brother is a brand ambassador for Landis
For Landis-Geray.
The brother is a brand ambassador. And I got to get some new stuff to him. I got to get some new gear from my man out there because I know he kind of butt naked right now with just like 1 or 2 t-shirts. And so I'm going to hook you up, Vandale. I promise, man.
And thank you. Thank you for supporting us, just being there for us. And again, you guys, if you don't know Vandale Andrew, you should know Vandale Andrew.
You need to know Vandale Andrew.
And Vandale is one of the baddest sax players
and you guys,
I've ever known.
We had a chance to play in London. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the show because that's one of the destinations on tonight's show. We got a chance to play in London a couple of years ago. Also, the brother has been... He's on. Vandale is on.
We love you too.
Love you, brother. And I'm just shouting you out, man, because... And he doesn't know we're doing this, you guys. They don't know, so I just wanted to shout him out and just say thank you. This is my way of just being able to say thank you. My wife's way to be able to say thank you. Because, you know, anybody who supports us, anybody who backs us, we appreciate it. We need that to push this show, to push our endeavors. And so we want to do the same for people who are showing us love. We're going to show love right back.
And we love you. We love your family.
Absolutely.
We love your wife and kids. And so just wanted to just shout you out just to show love to you.
Absolutely, man. And so we played in London a couple years ago. The brother also, I had a chance to go to the Soul Train Awards.
You did.
Back in 2014, I believe, the Soul Train Awards in Las Vegas.
That was so exciting.
We got a chance to travel together, and my man was nominated, you guys, for, I think it was Best Smooth Jazz Album or Best Jazz Album for the Soul Train Award. So you guys, Vandale Andrew, Raheem Devine, the Colleagues, Love Euphoria.
Wow. I mean, the album 30 was already
30
like lit.
30 was a masterpiece.
And you know, I still play Essences. Even Vandale Essence is playing it. So she's still playing it.
You guys, check out his whole discography, right? You can go on vandalemusic.com. Vandale, Vandell music.com. His whole discography. But one of his last previous albums, 30. That joint was a masterpiece. I got a chance to play on that too. So shout out. Yes, indeed. And so you guys, big shout out to Vandale, man. And we're going to see who else is on. My man Russell Long posted to his wall. Thank you so much. Hold up. I think this is Iffy the Dominator.
No, she's not.
It is on here. She's showing that she is watching. And I know Iffy is busy right now plotting and planning. This sister, she's got a new daily broadcast coming. We're going to shout it out. It's called Dominate the Marketplace. And it is a week-long from Monday to Friday. She's starting it tomorrow. And I believe it's at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. And she is going to be doing this every day at 10 o'clock a.m. live on Facebook, live on YouTube. And you can find her on Facebook and on YouTube at Iffy, I-F-Y, the Dominator. This sister's cold-blooded, you guys. And so if you're into business is your thing. You need consulting. You need to know the ins and outs of business. You need that push. That real push. Iffy, the Dominator, is the one. She is that for us. And so shout out to her with Dominate the Marketplace. It's a week-long power blitz that she is starting tomorrow, Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time, and you can find her again on YouTube and on Facebook, Iffy, I-F-Y, the Dominator. And so shout out to Iffy. She is on there, and she's saying, hey, family, what's going on?
You.
Shout out to my man Kennedy. Thank you guys so much for supporting.
Your family love you
and
so much.
And we love you guys. And she is back from the Bahamas, y'all.
She tore the Bahamas
I know
up.
she tore the Bahamas up.
I hope the runway's still there.
Right. This is the original, the knighted. She has been knighted.
Yes.
the Bahama Mama, you guys.
Bahama Mama,
she went
baby.
out there and brought the domination.
Yes.
And so shout out to Iffy for tearing the Bahamas up. She brought it out there, and I know it was cold. I know it was cold-blooded out there, you guys. And so check out Iffy the Dominator, F-I-F-Y, the Dominator. You can also find her on our website, The Dominators Club, thedominatorsclub.com. Check her out, you guys. And so we gonna get into the show, you guys. We're having some fun. And
you know, I just want to say something before we start.
Absolutely.
You know, we're shouting out people that are really moving and shaking, that are not allowing society or life issues to stop them. You know, I want to also shout out to our spiritual parents as well, because you know, they not only are ministers, but they are business owners. You know, they have TV shows.
Yes.
They're just doing it. And if you guys are looking at us and saying, God, you guys are doing all these great things, we're being pushed to do these things because they're in us. And our spiritual parents are doing the same things. So I just really want to shout them out as well, even the more. Apostle Sean and Nike and Prophetess Beverly and Nike is just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Big pushers, big backers of their spiritual sons and daughters, and there's none like them. And I just have to say that.
Absolutely.
And to Iffy and to Vandale and all of those and all of you guys, the Long family that are pushing their dream. Papa, you know, he talked about that Sunday. You know, your dreams. And I forgot the actual.
Here comes the dreamer.
Here comes the dreamer.
Yeah.
And he is saying, don't stop. You guys need to watch that. That was this past Sunday, the 25th. Wasn't it the 25th?
I believe so, yeah.
The 25th. You need to watch that. Do not give up on your dream. So I just wanted to say that really quickly.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And
thank you for allowing me to.
Absolutely. And just to expound on that real quick, the reason why we do shout out those that are moving and shaking, those that, you know, that are doing things, because they're going after their dreams.
Yes. And
you guys, if y'all don't know this, man, it's hard. It is hard going after your dreams. I mean, we're still coming out of a pandemic.
Right.
You know, the market is not. I mean, right now the economy is turned upside down. There's things going on in our society, things going on in our country, around the world. I mean, you got elections going on and all kinds of different things that people are having to transition through.
Right.
And so when you see people who are still pushing after their dreams, they're still moving forward, they're still putting one foot after the other. And sometimes when you're an entrepreneur or you're creative, it can feel like you know, every time you take a step forward, you're taking 5 steps back.
Right.
But these people are still pushing, these people are still grinding it out. Yeah. And so we want to appreciate them. We want people to smell their flowers now.
Right.
Not when we long and gone, or they rich and famous or whatever, and we ain't got no access to them because they're gonna be busy doing what they do. But we need to esteem people now.
Right.
And like Ro was saying, our spiritual parents, and if you don't have pastors or spiritual backing of people who are helping you spiritually through life, you need to look for them.
Right.
You need to pray that God would send you the right ones.
Right.
Why? Because these are your pushers.
Right.
The world calls them mentors.
Right.
Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. The world calls them mentors or coaches and different things like that. But here, as faith-based people, we call them spiritual parents or pastors and so forth. And so shout out to ours, the Anikes, because like my wife was saying, they push us, y'all, and sometimes the push don't feel good.
No.
The push is not convenient.
No.
The push is not comfortable.
No.
But it's mandatory. It's necessary, you guys. And so that's why we shout.
Right. And that goes also for Iffy, you know, the Dominator.
Yes.
You know, just so proud of her. I just have to say this because this wasn't planned, but just want to give you guys your flowers. And she's also, her spiritual parents are also our spiritual parents as well. So, you know, she's being pushed too. But I just wanted to just say to her as well, keep going. To all of you guys who have dreams, who have goals, who feel like it's been delayed, who feel like it's not happening, or feel like it's such a far off. No, it's not. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep doing everything you can do, the research, the praying, the whatever you need to do to make sure you realize your potential, your dream, and realize it.
And I believe it's right around the corner for a lot of us.
Too.
A lot of those who will put in the work.
Yes.
A lot of those who will put in the time and the energy,
the consistency,
the discipline, and are still going after it.
Right.
I believe that our time is right around the corner, you guys.
Right.
And so this ain't no time to be quitting. This ain't no time to be giving up. This ain't no time to be getting super frustrated. And I know I deal with that. But this is no time to give in to all of the temptation to quit. Right. And so you guys, again, we just want to push that. Yeah. And we just want to say thank you again for those who push us. You guys push us to do this. Yeah. There are times where, and if you guys know, this takes time to do the production. It takes time to get things set up, and sometimes you're not feeling it. You're not knowing if you're touching people. You're not knowing if what it is that you're putting out is helping people. And so when you guys tune in, when you guys share, when you guys show us love on here, that helps us, and it's about reciprocity.
Yes, it is.
What you give out, you get back.
Right.
And so. Again, we just wanted to take this little window to do that and say thank you guys for backing us. We love you guys. And so, again, we're going to jump into tonight's show because we got some destinations. Last week we had some great destinations and we talked about, but we're going to run through those at the end of the show. But now we're going to start with some brand new ones, some places where my wife and I have been and that we've been able to explore. And you guys, again, these are suggestions coming up. They were for the spring. We had some for the spring, but now since summer is upon us, you guys can start planning now. Here it is at the end of March, going into April. You guys got to start planning your vacations, your vacations now. Don't wait until June, July, because why? The price of everything is going to go up. Mm-hmm. And they know that people do stuff at the last minute. They know our trends. They analyze this stuff.
Absolutely.
And so what happens is people wait until end of May, June, July to start, preparing for their trips and vacations, and they jack up the prices to everything. Especially
those algorithms.
Yeah, them algorithms are raw.
Yes.
And they're watching your behavior. That's what algorithms are, you guys. Is they're just code that watches the behavior of people online. Mm-hmm. And so when you're clicking on stuff or you're doing searches for different destinations and whatever, or flights, they are recording that information. They're capturing that information in what are called algorithms. Mm-hmm. And so they know your behavior of how you look for things and what you're looking for online. Right? And so when you go to Facebook and you see something that you were looking at on a website, or you feel like you were even thinking about, and then you look up on Facebook or Instagram and then you see it, then it's like, well, that's why, because they're capturing that data. Yes. So you want to be mindful of when you start booking your flights and your trips and you start looking for things, not to wait so deep into the summer months when things can start getting expensive, because they jack up the price purposely because they know more people are traveling during that time.
Right, and that's really true. And then certain destinations also are at that time of the year are a lot more expensive. I know going to Hawaii is definitely, that's year round, but during the summer it's extremely expensive during that time. So for those of you who want to go to Hawaii, have never gone, make sure that you do that way before the summertime gets here, because they jack those prices up. Hotel, airfare, all of that.
Right. And and it's funny because after our program at the beginning of the month, we now have some friends that are in Hawaii.
Yes.
And the Snowdens are in Hawaii. Patrice and Rick Snowden are in Hawaii right now, enjoying their vacation. They are doing their thing. And I believe they're on the island of Kona, which is the Big Island. The Big Island. We've had a chance to visit the Big Island and we loved it.
We loved it.
And so shout out to the Snowdens who are right now in Hawaii, doing their marriage thing. They are getting it in, you guys. And then I know that Rianne and Moni, they back from somewhere.
Where are they back from?
Yeah, they somewhere.
Shake, Georgia. I don't know. Where they?
Somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. Somewhere.
When I tell you,
you can't pronounce.
Back somewhere in Portugal.
Right. No, they were actually in Lisbon, Portugal.
Oh boy!
And you guys, the pictures that they put out there are beautiful. My wife now wants to go, and she's like nudging me.
Wanting to go.
Right, she's been wanting to go, so she's nudging me like, "Yo, Rihanna and Moni have gone to Portugal." So you guys, we got to get to Portugal. But
Yes.
shout out to them because they are always on the go. They're always on the road, and they
they're
take
very supportive.
very
as well.
supportive of us and this show and our endeavors.
Yes.
But they also take their kids. I love that.
Yes.
They take their kids and they go out and explore, and they're in the pictures, and they're having a good time as a family. And so I
Yeah.
love the fact that they do it as a family.
Yes,
and then
me
sometimes
too.
Rayanne will get away by herself.
Yes, with
She'll
her
be kicking it with her
girls.
girls and everything.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. That's how you unwind and refresh. And so she does that. I'm sure Moni probably stays here in Dallas watching the Cowboys, watching us suffer with our Cowboys.
Oh, he's not a Cowboy fan?
No, he's a Cowboy fan. That's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
okay.
He's suffering.
Oh,
That's why-
okay.
that-
Okay, suffering
We're
with
suffering
us.
together.
Oh.
Yeah, he's suffering. Right? And so he stays here sometimes, and I think he travels as well. But Rianne and her family are on the go, so shout out to
Yes.
them. And so they just got back from Portugal, you guys. And Europe is beautiful. I love Europe.
Beautiful.
But before we get into our European countries, because we do have a couple on the list tonight, we got to
Yes.
start with one of our favorite destinations, you guys. And this one is Tokyo. Tokyo, you guys.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, man, Tokyo.
It's lit.
Oh, Tokyo is
Just straight lit.
Oh, you guys, Tokyo is like bananas, man. It's
beautiful.
I know for me, and I remember when we were planning it, it was like one of those dream destinations I had as a kid. And I think I
Yes.
kind of told it the last show is I had, I grew up like loving karate and martial arts and the Ninja Turtles and everything. So when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to Asia and I wanted to go to Japan. And I just always got into Asian art and architecture and, and all that good stuff. And so I think we got a chance to go in, 2015?
2016.
Was it 2016? Okay.
Yes.
We got a chance to go and spend several days in Tokyo. And I'm going to tell you guys, Tokyo is absolutely humongous.
Humongous.
Humongous, you guys. I mean, think of 10, 15 New York cities packed into one.
That's so true.
That's Tokyo.
Yeah.
I mean, 10, 15 New York cities packed into one. I mean,
Right.
buildings everywhere in
Wow.
Tokyo. And the thing of it is, I think one time we got on the subway train, which is immaculate. Like I was surprised to see that the subway was so clean.
Right.
Like you could eat off of the subway floor. It was that clean.
The entire subway was clean. There
Right.
was no litter anywhere.
Anywhere. No
Nowhere.
paper,
Right.
no gum stuck to the walls. I mean,
Right.
it was
None of
just
that.
it was just crystal clean.
Yeah.
Tokyo, like I was saying earlier, was like 10 to 15 New York cities packed in one.
Right.
There were so many buildings, and we stayed on the outskirts, like you were
Right.
saying.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Yes. And Yokohama. Yokohama was beautiful.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
stayed in what was the name of the hotel? Do you remember?
Oh, no, I don't.
It was a great hotel.
It was dope hotel.
I mean, outside of the window, we could see the Ferris wheel. People walking to and from work. I mean, the subway was right there. It was very convenient. Starbucks was
Yes.
right there by the hotel. It was just so awesome. The food was so good. We just enjoyed that hotel.
The hotel was
have to
dope,
find
and the
a
hotel was what's called a boutique hotel.
A boutique.
And
right.
and those can be like a little bit smaller, and more quaint.
Right.
But it was, I mean, it had all of the great amenities that you would want. Very nice. And the thing about Tokyo, Japan, anywhere in Japan, the rooms are going to be small.
Right.
Right. They're going to be a little bit more compact than what you're used
Yes.
to. They kind of give you a European sense. Like when you go to Europe and you travel, you'll notice that the rooms there can be pretty quaint and pretty
Yes,
small.
right.
Well, it's the same thing in Tokyo, is that the rooms were small but very clean, just very sophisticated. And Yokohama is like one of the suburbs, if you will,
Right.
outside of central Tokyo.
That's right.
And so Tokyo was massive, you guys, and the transit system there is so sophisticated.
It really is.
And so you can get anywhere. Things are in both Japanese and in English, you guys. And you'll find some of the warmest people there. They'll help you when you get lost, or they know that you're a tourist, right?
Yes.
They're gonna know off the top. they're going to help you get anywhere you need to be. And that's what people would stop and do for us, is that when they knew that we needed to get somewhere, they would help us, get us on the subway and point us in the right direction, which one to get on. So the Japanese, shout out to the Japanese, man, because they're so warm, they're so inviting. They love their country. They love, they love people. And we had a great experience in Tokyo. We never felt like we were not wanted. No. We never got, the awkward stares, like who are they and where do these black folks come from? we never got that feeling.
We did not
when traveling, you guys. And so you get a chance. Tokyo is one of those joints.
It is.
Take a second, honey. Get back with Mama and Papa. Put them back on this show because Mama was excited that we were talking about Tokyo and everything, and so get them back on. We had several people back on. Or that were on the previous broadcast. We want to make sure that you guys are tuned in with us. We do apologize.
Yes.
It ain't something that we can control.
Yes.
So if you were tuned in earlier, get back on and rock with us here on Living More with the Morgans, you guys. And so Tokyo. And the thing about it, one of the things that I loved about Tokyo was the food. I love the food.
No, I do.
And you're definitely a foodie. But I'm a picky eater.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like when you're a picky eater, how do you know what to find? How do you know what you're going to like? How do you know what's going to agree with your taste buds and your palate?
Right.
And everything is so pristine and neatly made and created and clean.
But you know that Japan is a Michelin 5-star.
Well, they have tons of Michelin 5-star chefs.
Yeah, the food
the restaurants are just amazing. Yes. But even like the little, what we would consider here in America, like the hole in the wall.
Yes.
Them joints got stellar food.
They did.
Great. And one of my favorites eating there was the soba noodles.
Yes, you like the soba noodles.
The soba noodles with chicken with the broth. And them joints were raw.
And you gotta, now if it's good, you have to slurp. Now, here in this country, slurping in public, eating your food, that's not good manners.
Right.
But there in Japan, you have to, because that lets the chef know, it's good.
Oh, it's good to you.
Yeah, it's good to you. So the slurping is key.
And that's what they were telling us. It's like, we were sitting there trying to be all polite and, we eating with our manners and everything. And one of the Japanese gentlemen that was eating there, they was like, it's cool that you can slurp your noodle. And they were good too, so we getting it in, y'all. And we just loud and country, but that's what they wanted from us. They wanted to know that we enjoyed the food there. And so, you guys, Tokyo is. And Mom was saying,
"How's the fruit?
How was their fruit, babe? You ate some of the fruit, didn't you?
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Everything there is good.
Mama, everything there is pristine.
Yeah.
Everything is so meticulous.
Yes.
And Papa's been there, so he knows. He the Japanese are very disciplined, very orderly.
Yes.
And their customs, their history is just rich.
It is.
And the technology, if you're big into technology, I know my man Russell Long is big in technology, and there's others on here that are big in technology. If you're big in technology, you're going to love Tokyo. The only thing is that I loathe is we did not get to spend enough time there.
We did not.
We did not get a chance to spend
we can always go back.
And we're going to go back. We're going to definitely go back. But it was so big.
Yes.
Like taking the subway train into central Tokyo. We didn't get to see central Tokyo at all, really.
Right.
We saw, I think it was called the space tower or the.
Yes. We were in there.
We were in there.
Yeah, we were at the top.
We got a chance to kind of walk around and everything and do some sightseeing.
Yes.
But you guys, it's so massive. There's so much to explore.
Yes.
There's so many little different, I guess, suburbs or provinces. I don't know what they're called, but there was so much to see there in Tokyo that 1 week is not going to do it.
No.
One week
I
is
think
not
we were
gonna
there
do it.
over a week. We were there for almost 2 weeks. Almost.
No, not that long, honey.
Yes, we were.
Really?
Yeah. The Morgans don't go on 3 and 4 day vacations.
Well, we can't.
We can't.
And the reason,
we don't, because it's so much to see.
There's so much to see, right?
Yeah.
So if
much to
if you take a 3-day vacation, by the time you get off the plane, get situated, get off the jet lag, because that's a 16, 17-hour flight.
16 hours,
right?
guys.
So when we go, we go.
Right.
So when you unwind, you get comfortable in your hotel, that takes a day or two. And if you're gonna take a 3 to 4 day vacation, you back on the plane, headed back home.
You and jet lag back going.
Exactly. So when you travel abroad, if you're gonna travel overseas for summer or for this spring, you guys, block out some time. I say at least a good week, 7 to 10 days to really go explore the country. Because again, it's a different country. Not just a city, but it's a country that you're in. And you want to be able to take it all in and build those memories if you can. Yes. And so 3 to 4 days just ain't enough. If you're traveling domestically, that's cool. But if you're traveling abroad and you want to see and take in the culture and the music and the art, give yourself at least a good 7 to 2 weeks to really get it in.
I would say the same.
And so Tokyo, you guys, is big on our list. I admonish you to get.
We admonish you
and
to
I think American flies directly to Tokyo.
It does.
16-hour flight, so take your Dramamine, take all what you need to take, get all of that in. But by the time you watch 3 or 4 movies, you wake up and you're in Tokyo, you're in Japan. And
after
so,
3 meals.
3 meals, 3 square meals on the flight, get you some sleep, and you can wake up in Tokyo. And I'm telling you, man, it's a different world. It's fast-paced. And see, back then, if you remember, honey, they were wearing the masks already.
Oh yeah, but that's custom.
That's custom then.
Yeah, they wear if they have a cold or something like that.
Right, and see, that was out of courtesy.
Courtesy.
Yeah, they were wearing the masks long before, or way before we were, here in America when we got hit with COVID. So this is 2015-16 that we went. They were already rocking the mask, and we were it was kind of scary looking because like. You see them movies and stuff, but like, why are they walking around with these masks? Well, that was the thing, is that they were being courteous if someone had a cold or an infection or something like that. They wanted to be courteous to everybody else
and I love
there.
that.
And that was so cool to see. And so again, it's so clean, it's so meticulous, and it's just so inviting. And the Japanese are very warm people.
Yes, and if you love food, I mean, that's what travel to me is. Food, the culture, that gets you, that allows you to, get an understanding of that culture, of the people there. So again, the food is exceptional, and Mom, Prophetess Beverly, you would absolutely love it. It'll be right up your alley. You would absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
And anyone who wants to go to Japan, yes, it's a long flight, 16 hours, but hey, it's worth it.
Totally worth it.
It's totally worth it.
Totally worth it. And if you're flying from Dallas Fort Worth and you're going to fly, and this is just to let people know, you're not going to fly necessarily, when that's a direct flight, you're not going to fly towards the east, right? So if you're Dallas Fort Worth or you're in the central part of America, you're going to fly westward.
Right.
Okay. So you're going to go behind in time to be ahead in time.
Yes.
It's cool. So from Dallas Fort Worth, you actually fly like you're flying through Colorado, California, Seattle, and so Washington and so forth, and then you fly a little bit above Alaska.
Yes.
You'll actually kind of come through the tip of Russia.
Yes.
You'll see the tip of Russia and Alaska where that connects, and you'll cross the Bering Strait, and then you'll come down into Japan. And so, you guys, it's worth the 16-hour flight. I'm telling you, Tokyo is where you want to be.
Yeah, so like right now in Tokyo, it's 11:21, actual 11:22 a.m. already on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
So they're already into the next day.
Oh, it's almost noon there.
Yes, it's almost noon there. So I just wanted you guys to know that it's fascinating.
Yes.
It's a fascinating thing to, to encounter, to go through.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right, you guys. So our next trip on the list, our next destination on the list, you guys got to check out. That was one of our favorites.
Yes.
Toronto, Canada, you guys. Yes. Toronto. Right now, Toronto, you guys know, it's right above us. It's here in North America, and you guys, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's clean.
Yes.
And there are neighbors, you guys, up north from us.
Yes, they are neighbors.
And there's no excuse not to hit Canada, because if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or you live on either coast, from East Coast, West Coast, California, New York, I mean, you're literally 2 to 3 hours from Canada. I mean, 2 to 3 hour flight, 4 at max will put you in Canada.
Yeah.
We got a chance to see Niagara Falls.
We did. Yeah.
And we stayed in Toronto and we drove into Ontario. I think that was, yeah.
Yes.
And we drove into Ontario to see Niagara Falls, and we
Yeah.
stayed on at the Marriott.
Yes, we did.
We stayed at the Niagara Falls Marriott. And you guys, we stayed on like one of the high floors. I can't remember what floor it's on, but one of the high floors so you can see down. You're looking down at Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
It was a bit scary.
Yeah.
It was, because seeing all that water, but it's absolutely captivating. It's beautiful. And so, but we didn't take the tour where you can ride the raft.
Right. Well, remember, it was cold.
It was cold.
Bitterly cold.
It
there.
was bitter cold.
Yeah, we went like in the dead heat of winter.
Yeah, it was.
And the Niagara Falls, it was running, but it was, I mean, excruciatingly cold,
it was
you guys.
cold,
It was cold. The water was kind of hitting us off of, it was just icy and cold. And so it was beautiful, but it was kind of like foggy. It had a lot of the fog and stuff and the wind and everything. So we didn't see the real picturesque scenery of Canada because we went during a cold time out there.
Right.
But other than that,
yes.
My scarf is coming
scarf
off.
want to come off.
Want to come off. Go ahead and take that bad boy out. That was the only downfall with seeing Canada.
Right.
Now it's beautiful. And driving through there again, we drove from Toronto, and I loved. Man, I dug Toronto. I love the city.
Me too.
The city is modern.
It is.
It reminds you a little bit of New York.
Yes.
It's got all of the amenities of America.
Yeah.
So anything that you're familiar with America, they're gonna have there.
Right.
All of the restaurants that we have here, they're gonna have there.
Right.
And we got a chance to go check out the Toronto Raptors basketball game.
Yes,
so we went to the arena out there and watched one of the basketball games. And so, you guys, Toronto, if you want a little bit of home, if you want a little bit of America, but you also want to explore, Canada for the first time, I think that'd be the safe place to go. Just to kind of get a taste of Canada for the first time is Toronto.
Right. And they have all, Quebec City, they have, which are the French colonies, cities in Canada as well.
Right.
And Canada, if I'm not mistaken, is British, right? I mean, don't the Queen have, remember when we were there?
Well, there's some, it's I think it's called British Columbia or something like that.
Yes.
But yeah, there's parts of that are ruled by Britain.
Yes.
But I know some parts in Canada speak French.
Yes.
And so
Quebec does.
I don't know how Canada is. You guys Google that for us and let us know how was Canada kind of ruled, because I know the French are involved with Canada, the British are involved with Canada. I mean, a little bit of everybody is involved with Canada. I think even a little bit of Russia.
Right.
And so you guys Google that if you would, and hit us up in the comments. Who kind of governs and controls Canada? You know, but there's so many different cultures.
Yeah, so many different cultures. And one of my ex-managers, she was from Quebec City.
Oh, wow.
Canada,
Wow.
yes.
And we have
French,
colleagues in Vancouver.
We do.
We have colleagues that are Nigerian that live in Vancouver, and they rave about it.
They love it.
The only thing they've told us about it, that it can rain there a lot.
Yes.
But they said the beauty of Vancouver and Canada is just is massive.
Right. And Nakisha is on Nakisha's service. Thank you for coming on. And you're right. She said, yes, it is, because it is a part of the Commonwealth.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew there was...
Mother Myers on.
I knew... Oh, Mother Myers is on. Yeah, she said part French and part English. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and so I knew the British had something to do with it. I knew the French had something to do with it. You guys, I didn't do very well in geography back in the day. But
you didn't?
No.
Not you.
Google, baby, Google. Google will make you seem smart. I'm telling you. Google will make you look brilliant to people.
Whatever.
But again, Canada wasn't as picturesque during the time that we went because it was really cold.
It was really cold.
But the hotel we stayed in again was the Marriott overlooking Niagara Falls. You guys,
Marriott Niagara Falls.
it was amazing. It was beautiful. And then going into Toronto. Toronto's a great city, very modern. Man, their highway system though, man.
Big freeways.
Yeah, big freeways, huge freeways.
Yes, you missed that
and
exit.
If you miss
you're
the
gonna be
exit,
driving 10 miles down before you get to it.
You miss the exit in Toronto, good luck. I mean, good luck, because you're gonna be driving for another 20 miles to get to the next exit. I mean, but amazing city, amazing country, and we got to do Canada more.
We
so
have
hopefully
to.
we'll hit like Vancouver and some
Yeah.
other areas of Canada,
That'll
you
be
guys.
good.
And so our next destination, you guys, we're gonna hit the
Wow.
motherland on this one, you guys. The
Again.
motherland. We're gonna take it
Yes.
back to Africa, you guys, and this one. Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, you guys. And I tell you, gosh, I just love Africa. I'm sorry, man. I mean, y'all can call me biased, but I'm just Africa.
Ethiopia has
Africa.
some of the most warm, welcoming,
Yes.
beautiful people.
Yes.
I mean, just absolutely beautiful and so kind and so sweet. It's funny. I just met a guy yesterday, and he was from Addis Ababa.
Okay.
Worked at the hospital our daughter worked at.
Okay.
So
Cool.
and he was so shocked that I've been there. He's like, "You've been to Addis Ababa?" I said, "Yes."
That's the thing, and and you've told me that before. It's like when you
Yes.
run into people and you tell them, that are from there, and you tell them that you've been to Ethiopia or Addis Ababa,
Yes.
and they will be like, "Are you serious? Like you've been to my country?" Like, yeah,
Yes.
And we got a chance to go to Addis Ababa to really kind of experience some of the culture and the food
Yes.
there. We were part of a food company venture a couple of years ago. And we really went there to kind of take in the cuisine and the spices
Yes.
and different things that we could kind of, bring into our own ideas for food at the time. And Addis Ababa, I think is beautiful. I mean, it's vibrant, it's colorful.
Yes.
And like you were saying, the people were so just genuine.
Yes.
Genuinely warm and friendly. And again, we didn't get those stares and those looks. I mean, you had some people, of course, because you're American and you're African American, they're inquisitive, right? It's not a rude look that they're giving you or a stare, but it's like they're inquisitive and curious about you. And so that's what we got in Addis Ababa, you guys, was just this warmth from them. And we stayed there at the Marriott executive. It was one of the executive Marriott suites there in Addis Ababa, in the central part of Addis Ababa. And Addis Ababa, you guys have to know, and just being honest, it's beautiful, but it's an older city. I mean, Ethiopia itself is ancient. I mean, it really is. It's ancient,
Very
like Egypt.
much. Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of history, a lot of rich history in Ethiopia. And the thing about Ethiopia, it's both, in their religions, both Christians and Muslims. And so you'll find all kind of faiths there, but mainly Muslims and Christians. And they coexist.
Yes.
They coexist in harmony, and they believe it. They got the Ark of the Covenant there. And I'm like, yo, who am I to tell them that they ain't? Because the peace exists there, you guys. And so, but they do have their challenges, and I think with any African nation, they have their challenges. They have their challenges with government and corruption and different things like that. But don't let that deter you from going. Don't let that stop you from going to enjoy Addis Ababa and Ethiopia and other parts of Ethiopia. Again, there's different, parts of the country that you can go and visit. And you can take, small, if you're into that, you can take small little jets and little flights into other parts of the country. They have different pilgrimages there, religious pilgrimages that you can go and you can kind of worship at the Christian shrines. There's a church that's built into the rocks.
Yes.
They built it underground in the rock.
Go next
and that's
time.
the next time we go there, we've got to visit there. You have to get there. I think it's a long drive and the roads aren't that good. So they advise you to fly into that area. And but it's beautiful. And we got a chance to visit one of the churches, one of the Christian churches that was up in the mountains. And the elevation of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia is already high.
It's high.
I mean, it's high. So when you get there, your lungs are going to feel that you are in Ethiopia. You're going to feel it.
Yes.
But we got a chance to do, to visit a children's school at one of the Christian churches up there. And we took a tour of it. And when we went, we didn't know that the kids would be visiting or their Sunday school.
Yeah.
And so they were there, and I mean, they just surrounded us and just took pictures with us. I mean, doing what kids do, you know. And so they were super friendly, super just inviting and just beautiful, man. Like the smiles in these kids, man. It's just the people everywhere, just beautiful. To my single fellas, I gotta say this, and this is all with all due respect to my beautiful, lovely wife sitting next to me. Single fellas, you will need to get to Ethiopia before you say I do to any woman. Yes, you need to get to Ethiopia.
I have to say he's absolutely right.
Yes.
The women are beautiful.
Beautiful sisters.
Beautiful.
And the culture there is rich. The food is rich.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'll be honest, you guys. For the food, again, because I'm
picky.
I'm picky about my food. I'm very picky.
Yes.
I couldn't get into the Ethiopian cuisine. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I just couldn't. I was trying, y'all. I was trying, but again, it may be something that you love. I'm a very picky eater, so it's nothing against the food itself. It's just that me personally, I have, a very picky taste when it comes to food and textures of food.
Right.
And so the texture of some of the food was a little different for me personally. What did you think about the food, honey?
I thought it was good. It was a bit different, the same as for you. I'm not a picky eater, but it was different. It can be a bit spicy, which I like spice. We both like spice, but it could be a little bit spicy. So, but to each his own. Everyone has a different taste palette and taste buds, and so try it. I say go.
Absolutely.
Go. I admonish you to go.
And
to
I want to
Ethiopia.
I want to check out some of the comments because Nikisha was saying Africa is the place every black person should go there. Every person who is black, colored, negro, whatever you want to consider yourself, you need to get to Africa.
Oh boy.
Please don't skip Africa and head to Europe and head to Indonesia and head to Asia and Australia and all these other places, and you skip over the second biggest continent, which is Africa. Do not do that, especially if you're a person of color.
Right.
Why? Because there's so much rich, beautiful history there, and that's home.
Right.
For us as people of color, that is home. No. For us as human beings, for us as civilization on this planet, Africa is home.
Yes.
So don't skip everywhere else. Don't skip Africa to get everywhere else. Go and take a trip to the motherland.
And our sis Tamika says that's where her Russell brother lives.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. And so
that's awesome.
he knows firsthand the beauty of Ethiopia.
Yes.
So shout out to Russell's brother. Tag him on here if you can, sis. If he's on Facebook, I would love to tag him on here and just kind of get his thoughts about Ethiopia. Nikisha said, I've been to Uganda and Zambia.
We're trying to do both of those.
countries.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Mother Maya said, Ethiopia has a large Jewish population. Absolutely.
Yes,
so
it does.
Jewish, Christian, Muslim, they're all there in Ethiopia. And like Nikisha said, the women are beautiful, and that's why King David had so many wives. Come on now. David had No, Solomon too.
Solomon too, yeah.
Solomon had the concubines, wives, side chicks, you name it, he had it. Good grief, but he had some sisters.
Yeah.
And the women in Ethiopia are beautiful, you guys. And so
shout out to our Ethiopian friends.
Absolutely.
We love you guys.
Absolutely. We've got Ethiopian friends from Ethiopia that we still kind of keep in contact with here. On Facebook and social media, and we love them. And as soon as we get back to Addis Ababa, we will be linking up with them there in Addis Ababa again. And so, you guys, to the next city. And I hope you guys are enjoying the show tonight.
Please let us know if you're enjoying it
because we just want to chop it up with you guys about different destinations and giving you some ideas on where you can go this summer. So stack your chips. Don't be cheap. Do something for you.
Yeah.
Why? Because travel is an investment in you.
It is.
It's an investment in broadening your mind.
Yes.
Opening your mind and your spirit to new things, to new people. Yes. Get out of that 5-mile radius that you're used to.
Right.
God, and we are busy with life. We're busy with family. We're busy with business. some of us are busy with ministry and church and
Yes.
different things, but God
Yes.
don't mind you going to explore.
Yeah.
God ain't sitting there with an iron rod saying you can't go see this and go do this. No,
He wants us to.
He wants us to
He
go
made,
see
he
what He
created.
created.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's
and
good.
that's the best sermon you can preach, is when you've experienced God rather than just talking about God.
Yeah.
Go experience what it
experience
is that He's created and the people He's created,
Yeah.
and you'll find some of your best sermons and your best messages come from that.
It is true. And also, not only that, it is good for your health.
Yes.
It's good for your health to get away,
Yeah.
to go and relax and detox,
Right.
and just enjoy yourself and refresh your mind. You know, like we
Yes.
were saying, it's extremely good for your health. So
Right.
remember that.
Nikisha said, I am loving this, thank you. And she said, traveling is so educational.
It is.
Learning about other people and cultures is so cool. Absolutely.
It is
Absolutely.
so much,
and
sis.
again, it's worth the planning and the investment.
It is.
And it is an investment. And I think sometimes we tend to look at, oh, that costs too much, and I don't know if I want to do that, you guys, but it's an investment in you. And if you have children, it's an investment in them.
Yes.
Because it opens up their mind. Like she said, it's educational. And so when
Yes.
you're going in and you're learning, or you're visiting some of the museums, or you're
Yes.
visiting some of the places where there's art and there's culture, that's opening your children's mind up to the possibilities of things outside of where they grew up.
That's right.
Or what they're seeing most of the time.
That's right.
Especially if they're here in America.
Yes.
Right? And so sometimes our reach can be so limited, and our imagery is limited because of the same stuff that we see around us. And so traveling allows you to open up and
does.
really get a sense of what the rest of the world is doing.
It does. And and we want to do some traveling with you guys. I mean, again, we talked about this. Later on, we're going to, talk about some things that we can all, go and do together, explore together,
Yes.
So be on the lookout, you guys. We're looking to do that.
And so if you guys have some destinations that
You've gone to,
or that you want to share and suggest, please hit us up in the comments.
Yes.
Let us know some places that you are a fan of or that you would love to see, and hit us up in the comments and let us know. Nikisha said, it is an investment. I prefer to save and travel than anything else. My girls are exposed. And she said, let's do this already. So world, get it ready. Nikisha, get it ready. The Long family, the Nikes, what's up with it? Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yes.
We are believing that the wealth is coming, the money is coming, it ain't gonna be no problem. We gonna pick a destination, roll the map around, point there, and get on the plane.
And Matthew and
Matt,
your
if
wife
you're on
too.
there, yes, Matt and your wife.
Yes.
Be ready, because the Morgans are gonna be ready to roll.
Yes.
We finna be ready to roll, you guys. And so next destination, you guys, and thank you again so much for tuning in to Living More with the Morgans and staying up with us, you guys.
Yes.
Next destination, one of our favorites, Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand, you guys. Ooh, man.
Love it.
Ooh, Thailand was lit, man.
Thailand was lit.
Ooh,
right?
Y'all.
Oh, we did so many. Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
The food is exceptional.
I'll be honest, I didn't think I would like Bangkok as much as I did. I honestly didn't think, because we had an option. We had a choice to go to either Bangkok or Vietnam.
Yes, that's right.
And I said I didn't want to do Vietnam because I wasn't really familiar with things there at the time.
Right.
And so we chose Thailand, Bangkok, and I just didn't know what to expect. But I think once we got there, got settled in, and just walking the streets. Just walking the streets at the hotel. And we also stayed at the Marriott Marquis Hotel.
Beautiful.
In downtown Bangkok. And just the food there. The food there was awesome.
Awesome.
The people there, it was our first time riding in what they call a tuk-tuk or tuk-tuk. Was it tuk-tuk?
Tuk-tuk.
Yes. Okay. T-U-K.
Yes.
And it was our first time riding in one of those, and it's like these little three-wheeled buggies. They call them KKs in Africa.
Right.
But our first time seeing those and riding those was in Bangkok, Thailand. and you guys are taking us in the street, and we got video. I mean, these dudes was doing like 100 in this joint. I mean, they was flying, zipping through traffic, and we're like, what is going on with this brother? But couldn't speak a lick of English. He knew how to signal for money, but but brother was, I mean, he had his foot on that gas and whizzing us through the city. But it was an amazing experience there in Bangkok.
And also, just to add this, when you travel, try to learn some of the language, especially hello, no, yes, thank you.
Right.
Try your best, because people will go out of the way to help you when they see that you're trying to, understand and to learn their language. So make sure that when you do go, make sure you research, make sure you study, make sure you, download the apps that help you to learn how to speak, because we start doing it like weeks before, start learning how to say yes and no, thank you, and, things like that.
And and that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, is that before you go, like my wife is saying, that you want to prepare with, some greetings, or different, terminologies of things that, learn some nouns of things that that you can point out. So when you go there, and they'll appreciate that. They'll appreciate and they'll know that you took the time to kind of learn a little bit of their language.
Yes.
Like in Bangkok, I think, thank you was kapung kap.
Yeah.
Kapung kap, and they stretch their words. It's so funny to hear. So it's kapung kap, and they stretch their words, kind of like how our Mexican brothers and sisters do here in America, is they kind of elongate their vowels and stuff. But it's real cool. What we did is, of course, we got on Google and we learned different words. But there's tons of apps out there that you can download for free on your phone, and you can learn different greetings, different salutations, and so forth, so that when you go to order food, or when you go to some of the museums or the touristy places or whatever, you can kind of engage with them. Now, many of the places, they will know English. They'll be able to speak English and understand you. But it's always cool to be able to just let them know that you appreciate their language and their culture by speaking some of their language as well.
That's right.
Right.
I agree.
And one of the things that we loved there was the shrines and the temples.
Yes.
The temples of worship, and the Buddhist temples and everything.
Yes.
And you guys, they're humongous. They're very ornate, very clean. You can go in there and and if that's your thing, you can go in there and burn your incense and all this different stuff. And see, the thing about my wife and I, just to kind of put this out there, is that when we go and travel, we know how to always respect people's religious beliefs. Yeah. Right? Yes. And so we're not so, pious and uppity and jaded to where, oh, we're Christians, we can't do that. No. The Holy Ghost ain't going to come off of us. Right? The Holy Ghost is inside of us. So that ain't going to never leave. Right? So we're not scared to go and learn of people's cultures and religious beliefs. Right? Yes. So when we're going into the shrines, they're worshiping Buddha, and they're praying to Buddha, and they're praying to multiple gods, gods of the rain and gods of emotions and all these different things. And we respect that. Yes. We respect that. When we go in there and to them shrines, we know who we're praying to. Right. We're praying to God, Yeshua, Jehovah. Yeah. And so keep that in perspective when you travel, is that everybody doesn't have your belief, because that's their country. Right. That's their way of doing things. Right. And so we believe in respecting. And we believe in respecting. Exactly. Right. We respect their culture and their religious beliefs. That's right. And so we did visit the temples and the big Buddha, the golden Buddha, and different things like that. And we took pictures, and it was beautiful. It's beautiful to see it. Yeah. The idols that they pray to, the different wood carvings and stuff, all that stuff is beautiful to see. And so, and it gives you, again, an idea and a perspective of what their faith is and what their religious beliefs are. And when it comes down to it, y'all, we all want love. Right. We all want love and peace and tranquility, and to be able to raise our kids and live a good life. That's what it really boils down to. Right. And so when you go, be respectful and mindful of their culture and of their religious beliefs. And Bangkok, they have some beautiful ones.
They do. Yeah. I just want to also mention, you guys, let me tell you one of the most favorite things that me and my husband love. When we have gone to Japan, and I believe Bangkok too, the 7-Elevens,
Oh, snap! Yeah.
The 7-Elevens
Yes.
are, oh my God, y'all, this is like eating 5-star restaurant kind of food.
You guys, the 7-Elevens out there.
They're not like here.
It was in Tokyo
Yes.
and in Bangkok.
Yes.
They were by the hotel.
Yes.
You guys, you can eat a gourmet meal from 7-Eleven.
Yes.
In Bangkok and in Tokyo.
Oh,
at
gosh.
7-Eleven. Now, 7-Eleven, for y'all don't know, 7-Eleven was based here and founded here in Dallas, Texas. It's all over the world. But there, when you go to a 7-Eleven there, it's like 100 times cleaner, more variety of foods.
It is. Yeah.
And the food is exceptional. I mean, how to prepare it.
Yes.
It's the packaging. It's just a different world out there
is.
at a 7-Eleven, you guys. So you can go out there to 7-Eleven with a couple $, and you can eat good. I'm talking about real good at a 7-Eleven, you guys. And so when you go to Bangkok, check out. I mean, just take you and your bae, you and your boo. Don't even go to a 5-star restaurant one of those nights. Walk across the street from your hotel and hit a 7-Eleven up. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
You will not be disappointed.
Take your stuff back to the hotel, pop it in the microwave, and you will have a 5-star meal in your hotel room.
Right.
With some chips, some drink.
Right.
And whatever meal you get from 7-Eleven.
Whatever meal, because I mean, even with the food that they have there, the dumplings, the barbecue buns, you know, what are they called? Dim sum.
Dim sum, yeah.
It's
the
like
noodle, the ramen noodles,
right?
Yeah.
It's just like they were made just before you walked in the door,
right?
So everything is so good, even their like packaged items and stuff, popcorn and stuff. There's a popcorn I gotta get, I gotta get it when I get back, and a drink. And you guys, when I tell you 7-Eleven is lit in Asia, it is lit.
And the great thing about it, again, if you're kind of a little bit leery about how things are going to taste, they have a lot of things that are familiar with what we have here in the States.
Yeah, they do.
So you'll have your, McDonald's, if you like fast food, if you're into that. They'll have the different sodas and soft drinks that we have here in America. So when you go there, you'll see those things, right? But you'll also see some cool stuff that we don't have here, that you'll definitely be curious to try. Like, man, what the packaging is colorful, and it invites you and it makes you want to try it out because of just the packaging.
You remember the Kit Kat?
Yeah, it was green tea.
It was green
tea Kit Kat. They had like
in Japan or was that in?
That was in Yokohama. That was in Tokyo.
That was in Tokyo.
That was in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had. I mean, they have different weird flavors of Kit Kat and these different candies. Man, I mean, Asia is a trip. Asia is awesome. Asia is awesome. Asia is lit, you guys. And so, Bangkok, Thailand, you guys go out there, respect the culture, the flights. Right. I think we connected because we connected from Africa.
Yeah, we came from Addis Ababa.
We came from Ethiopia. That's right. We came from Ethiopia and flew there. Yeah. And so. Now, I will tell you this. I remember when we were crossing Indian Ocean from Africa. Y'all, this was our first time crossing the Indian Ocean. And y'all, I spoke in tongues the whole 9 hours. I know I set a record. Papa, you think you got me? No, you ain't got me. Ain't no preacher, pastor, apostle, bishop, prophet, ain't nobody on here got the record for speaking in tongues like I got it. Because I said it that day, flying over the Indian Ocean from Africa into Bangkok. Y'all.
Was it Bangkok? No, that was Hong Kong. It was Bangkok?
It was Bangkok.
Are you sure?
Because Bangkok to Hong Kong, you don't fly over the Indian Ocean.
No, you don't.
Right.
Okay.
So it was Africa, skipping over India.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys. We have been to how many countries?
It's
22.
22
countries. So we have to remember.
We're over India and the Indian Ocean going into Asia, and y'all, that turbulence. And the thing about it, my wife and I, we freaking out.
A little bit.
And everybody else on the plane, the flight attendants, they all calm, like, ain't nothing new here. Like, okay, what,
Tell them what they told us.
That what they said, if we start freaking out, then be scared.
Right.
But if we're not freaking out, if we're not, if we're not moved by what's going on, then you don't have to be. And so they stayed calm through the whole flight. The people on there, who I'm sure they fly that route a lot over the Indian Ocean, they were calm and cool and collected. Y'all, I'm praying in tongues the whole time because I had never experienced turbulence like that. And so just to let you know ahead of time is that if you're going to travel and you're flying over the Indian Ocean into Asian countries or so forth, you're going to experience that turbulence over the ocean. You
are. And another thing that they also taught us is that turbulence for an airplane is like being on a bumpy road for a car. So you're not going to be, it's not like the plane is going down. That right there helped us a lot. Now, we've flown a lot. When we were going into Dubai, you remember from the U.S., there's a dip that happens that'll wake you up.
Well, just to let you guys know, when you are leaving the United States, okay, when you're leaving the U.S. and you're leaving the shoreline of the East Coast, particularly from like Florida up into the Carolinas and so forth.
Right.
When you're leaving the Americas and you're about to fly over the Atlantic, you'll feel a shift because the wind current is changing.
Yes.
From land that you're on, that you're flying over, into the ocean. So just be mindful that your plane may dip or you'll kind of feel a bit of turbulence as you cross over the Atlantic, coming from the land here in North America.
Right.
And so I'm sure it's like that going to the Caribbean and other places where you'll feel that shift of turbulence. And but there over the Indian Ocean, we definitely felt the wind swirling underneath that plane. And like my wife was saying, is that all turbulence is, and this is just to kind of educate people who don't necessarily travel abroad or travel a lot, is all turbulence is like a car hitting potholes, right? So it's not tearing up the plane. You're not going. The plane's not going to come down because of turbulence, but it can make you feel uncomfortable when you're flying there. So just a word of advice: if you're flying over the Indian Ocean for the first time, I know, like I did, I broke records, y'all. Straight up.
He broke records, but
I broke records.
We don't want you guys to be afraid. Just go.
Hold on. Good. I'm looking at the comments. He said, hold on. Nikisha said he remembered he broke the record. Sis, I'm telling you, 9 hours. Ain't nobody got me. Apostle Paul ain't got me. I'm telling you.
Not Apostle Paul.
Apostle Paul ain't got me. I don't even think Jesus got me on 9 hours. She said, Tamika said, Russell has experienced it. He said he screamed and then passed out.
Passed out.
He passed. The brother, man, was out of here.
Russell.
I'm telling you, the Indian Ocean ain't no joke. That is no punk.
It's not.
No punk over the Indian Ocean, you guys. So, but Bangkok is lit. I love Asia, you guys, and you guys have to go. And so we're going to continue on with our next destination, you guys. We hope you're having fun. We know we've been on here for a little bit. We had to make up for the time that we got kicked off the air for whatever reason. But this next destination, you guys, is a little bit closer to home, right there in Central America. And this is Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
You guys, Costa Rica. Costa Rica is beautiful. Spanish speaking.
Yes.
Right there in Central America. Not too far from if you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, or in the central part of the States.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was 3 to 4 hours maybe.
About 4.
And we flew into San Jose, Costa Rica.
We did.
And beautiful, guys. But I'm gonna tell you something, and just to be honest, we always want to be honest with you when you guys fly, so you know what to expect and experience. Right. Is that at the time that we went, Costa Rica was experiencing some very drastic changes in government, and so there was I remember going into one of the Walmarts there in San Jose. They had a Walmart, you guys. And we go to the Walmart, and you got to go through a security booth just to get into the parking lot of a Walmart.
Right.
And I mean, brothers was, packing guns and rifles, and and I'm like, at Walmart, and they had they had bars on some of the windows at Walmart, family. And my wife and I are looking at each other like, yo, do we really want to go in here and get a pack of draws from Walmart? because
You weren't going to get no draws.
I mean, baby, you really need these draws? No, I'm serious. Like,
we weren't going to get no
well,
draws. No, we were not.
I'm like, baby, do you really need these draws? Because they got guns up here in Walmart. I'm like, yo, what is this? But seriously, so the government was going through some changes and some things where violence was out of control at the time, and we didn't know that. And it's coincidentally, President Obama was there in Costa Rica while we were there. I mean, we're looking at the news, and his plane is coming in, and he's got his motorcade driving through the street and everything. So we're there when President Obama is in Costa Rica, and we had no idea he was going to be there. But here was the thing. And I gotta tell him this: when we drove to the resort, y'all.
You guys, let him tell his side. I'm gonna tell my side. Go ahead.
Hold up, are we frozen, you guys? Because I'm seeing the screen frozen. I'm good. Okay, I just want to make sure. Guys, let us know if you can see us, and if everything is still looking good, because it's frozen on my screen. I just want to make sure that you guys are good on your end.
Let me see. I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're good. Okay, we're good. I'm sorry about that because it froze up on my screen. Just want to make sure that you guys were good.
Okay.
But do not do what we did, y'all, going into Costa Rica. Because I didn't do my homework this time. We get there, and we need to get a rental car just to get around. she clowning already, y'all. We need to get a rental car. And we want to get a rental car because we
wanted to be cheap. Go ahead.
I didn't want to be cheap. I wanted to be.
You wanted to be cheap.
I wanted to be money conscious. So we get a rental car to get around San Jose, but to go from San Jose to our resort, which is in Guanacaste.
Guanacaste, yeah.
And it's several hour drive from San Jose into Guanacaste. Well, I didn't know that you could take a plane into one of the neighboring cities of Guanacaste. So anyway, we got this little small, I think it was a Toyota Yaris. It was a white Toyota.
We was in a Yaris.
Whatever it was. We was in this white small Toyota, right? And I'm thinking we good, we just need something.
Like a bunch of clowns.
No, we didn't. You did. And I'm thinking, okay, all we just need to do is get from point A to point B. We're gonna be good, save some money. Ain't being cheap, but just being frugal, being wise, being money conscious. You know what I'm saying?
Ahead, yeah.
Anyway, so we're driving, and y'all, next thing I know, we're driving up like 1-lane highways up through the mountains, where 18-wheelers are like on the back of my neck. Right. Like barreling on you. And I'm driving this little Toyota Yaris, little clown car, and these cars are whizzing because they know it. They know the terrain. I surely don't. And and if anybody knows me, I don't like to drive at night, and I don't like to drive on narrow roads, and I don't like to drive up hills and mountains, right? Didn't know that the terrain was going to be hills and mountains with no side rail. So we're going up mountains. There's no side rail guard. So it's lane and drop. Lane and death. That's it. That's it. So we're driving, and I'm like, y'all, I'm praying, I'm shaking the whole time. I'm trying to be strong so my wife don't see that my hands are sweating, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna be good. Y'all, the drive just kept going and going and going. Well, we get to the point where we're near the resorts, about, maybe 10, 20 kilometers outside of the resorts, which is like several miles. It's straight unpaved road. Right. The government doesn't want to pay to pave the road going into the resort area. And so for a good 10, 20 kilometers, good 20 miles, you might as well say, 20 miles, we're driving in this small Toyota Yaris with these small tires on unpaved gravel and rocks, just pure rocks the whole time, y'all. It was a nightmare. Yeah, monkeys going across. Monkeys swinging across the highway. Yeah. I mean, all kind of antelope. I mean, all kind of animals and stuff just coming out of nowhere. And y'all, we're doing this for miles and miles and miles to get to the resort area.
It took hours.
It took hours.
My
to get there.
husband was driving about 25 miles an hour. I knew we were going. I said, hopefully we'll get there before the next day.
I wasn't that slow.
He was going 30 miles an hour.
I wasn't going that slow.
You guys, I was over there getting car sick. I'm looking, he's scared. And he talking about he trying to be strong. I'm looking at him because his hands was gripping. He had white knuckles. He had white knuckles, y'all. And we was driving. Look, I'm from the country. I'm from East Texas.
Y'all.
I could have drove it, but he didn't want me to. He wanted to go ahead and beat him. I didn't want to interfere. But them knuckles was white. I mean, we were like, I said, look at this car we got. No, but I wanted you to get to the part where you tell them that how our car looked compared to the other people's cars.
What you mean?
They had SUVs.
Oh, I didn't know. See, okay, y'all, I'll be honest. I didn't research Costa Rica. So they had SUVs and then, big tires on their cars and everything, driving up the mountains, driving through this gravel. I didn't know. So, y'all, we had a terrible time getting into Guanacaste. But once we got there, once we got to the resort, she was angry. You was angry and your lip was stuck out and you was kicking your own lip because it was hanging so low the whole time. Yeah, And so, but we got to the hotel was beautiful. Again, we stayed at one of the Marriott's there, Marriott Resort Beach Club, I believe, in Guanacaste.
Yeah, it was.
And the hotel was dope.
It was.
From the time we got there, they knew our names. They would like, welcome Mr. and Mrs. Morgan, and we looking salty because of that drive. And
well, we remembered we did have a flat tire.
Yeah, that's it.
Remember?
That's right.
And we stopped to get some pizza at this place,
we had to stop,
which was nice.
Yeah, we had to stop in, on the way there in one of the little towns and stuff, and they were very nice. We got some pizza, and they patched up our tire for us and everything for free.
Yeah.
And we got on our way to the resort, you guys. So, but Costa Rica, very friendly people.
Yes.
They have their challenges. They have their challenge with poverty. You'll see that because on one side of the road, literally on one side of the road, you have the resort. And then on the other side, you have shanty towns. You have people living in squalor. And so there's some challenges there with their government that prayerfully that they're getting fixed up and worked out for their people there. But again, even though it has its challenges there, I think Costa Rica is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The food there was great.
Great.
I'm not real big into the Mexican or Hispanic, Spanish cuisine like that. And I know that's not the politically correct word when talking about Costa Rican. I'll say Costa Rican food. Let me say it that way. I'm just not real big into it, but I think if you're into the spicy stuff, if you're into spices, you're going to love it. You'll love it there. And so, but the resorts are beautiful. I think it's a great country and great city for a couple to go and experience in Costa Rica.
Very much so.
And the water, the water is beautiful. The beaches are beautiful, and you're going to dig Costa Rica.
Yes.
You're going to dig Costa Rica. Yeah. So, but if you're going to go again during the summer months, it's going to be a little pricey getting there. Also, if you do go, research, because that's what I did not do, as I didn't research, and so. Instead of flying from the States into San Jose, if you want to get to the resort area, you may want to fly into, there's I can't think of the name of it. It starts with an L, but I want to say Liberia or something like that.
It's something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think you can fly into a city. It starts with the L. I think it's Liberia. And you can drive from there into Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And so do not fly into San Jose unless they have paved the roads there. And I don't know if they have or not because it's been several years. But you guys want to do your research there with Costa Rica.
Yes.
And so Tamika said, I do not like driving next to 18-wheelers on mountains. Absolutely. I can't do it. Sis, I was about to pass out. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, the whole time, all my knuckles was white and palms was sweaty. I can't do it.
Well, also when we were on the Big Island, we had to do the same thing when we were driving.
I had to pull over
the volcanoes.
Yeah.
And I drove the rest of the way.
We were on Kona on the Big Island in Hawaii, and the roads go so high up in the mountains. And I told my wife I can't do it. Now we literally pulled over to the side of the road, and I let her drive. And I usually don't like to do that, but it's just something about narrow roads and driving up
Yeah.
mountains that ain't cool for me. So
Yeah.
you guys be mindful of that when you go into Costa Rica, that it's beautiful, but you want to make sure that if you're going to fly into San Jose, that the roads have been paved so that you can get into the resort towns in
Right.
Guanacaste. If not, you can fly into one of the other
Liberia.
nearby. Is it Liberia?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that is it.
You good.
Cool.
You
I remember
good.
you guys.
Yeah.
You can fly into Liberia, which is closer to Guanacaste, and then you
Yes.
can drive into the resort area. So
Yes.
Costa Rica is that joint. And we're going to go to a couple of more, you guys. So hang in there with us. You are on Living More with the Morgans with us, you guys, and we want to go through these with you. And we're going to, actually, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to come back to that one.
Okay.
I'm going to come back to that one because we want to get to the Caribbean, you guys. The Caribbean. If my girl Nikisha is still on here, if World is still on here, we finna head to near your neck of the woods in the Caribbean, and we gotta shout out Jamaica, man. You guys.
Beautiful.
Now, we're sharing this one, and we're sharing these next two because I have not been to Jamaica.
No.
And my wife has been to Jamaica. So, babe, you're going to have to take the lead on this and tell us about your experience in Jamaica.
Well, my experience at that time when I went, my best friend's sister at the time, her oldest sister, turned 50. And so that is one of the places she wanted to go to, which was Jamaica. So all of us, we all flew there. We had a connecting flight in Atlanta, Georgia. And so from there, I don't remember how long the flight was, but it wasn't an extremely long flight. But when we got there, and I tell you this story quite often, when we got there, I mean, just being there, the Caribbeans, you can feel the vibe, you can feel the energy in the air. People were just, friendly. And we got there actually on a Sunday, and people were in the park having picnics and stuff as we were riding to our resort.
Okay.
And the thing that's funny is when we got picked up from the airport to go take us to our resort, the resort, they have a shuttle that comes and pick you up and all of that. The man was bassing so hard in his car.
Right.
I'm like, and it was a band, and I'm like, he was holding a sign up, I believe it was, and telling us, hey, the love group here, come over here, and we were like, okay, who is that bassing?
Right.
We didn't know that it was him.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what Jamaica got. You guys here in the States, y'all think y'all got some bass in the back of y'all.
Apparently, we ain't got nothing on Jamaicans.
This ain't nothing.
Right.
I'm telling you, the music was on fleek. We're riding, we're trying to talk. We asked the driver, could you turn the music down? He turned it down. You guys, he turned it all the way down. It was still bass, and folks were looking at us like, what's up? We were like, what's up?
When you listen to reggae, though, I mean, reggaeton music, everything that they do is bass heavy.
It's bass heavy.
It's bass heavy. Nikisha said,
that's where I went.
I love it there.
Montego Bay.
Jamaica's so beautiful. My husband is from Montego Bay.
Okay. It's beautiful.
About 3.5 hours from Florida. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So getting there, you guys, is no problem. 3.5, 4 hours max. Maybe 4.5 from where you are here in the States. And again, I haven't been. My wife has raved about it. From the time that she was there. I mean, she was telling me about her experience there, that the people were warm and that the brothers was all up in her face.
Well, you got to remember at that time, you look at it, well, we weren't married then.
I don't care.
Look at it, salty. But we weren't married then. But the brothers, now I have to tell you, single ladies, yes, they gonna be. I
don't want to hear it.
Look, he was telling you about the Ethiopian women.
Well,
but hey, sis, if you are single, they have some good-looking Jamaican brothers there. I'll just be honest. I mean, it's just a whole different vibe. The food, the spices, all of that. We also did a tour where we went to Ocho Rio.
Okay.
We drove up. That was about an hour, and we did this. Oh goodness, we did this boat ride. We went snorkeling.
Okay. Yeah.
And when we got to the hotel, they had a big, huge feast out on the back of the hotel, overlooking the water for us. It was absolutely awesome. And we went there. The boat finally came. We heard the boat coming, you guys. Again, the bass is ridiculous. The bass, we thought it was like a neighboring, like a car across the street or something.
Right.
It was our boat coming to get us. And the girls were on there dancing, who was going to help us, the crew to help us learn how to snorkel and everything.
Yeah.
When I tell you the experience was the best experience ever. We end up going, also hiking up the, I think it was the Dunn's Ferry Dunn. I can't remember the actual name, where the waterfall is coming down.
Okay.
And we're hiking up that waterfall up to the side. The plants and the vegetation is just absolutely beautiful. When I tell you, we had the most extraordinary time. I mean, we had a great time. Jamaica is lit. If you guys haven't been to Jamaica, people like, oh, I don't know about Jamaica is lit. Jamaica is fun.
Okay.
Montego Bay is fun. That's why I was telling you we need to go together.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, I'm down to go. I'm down to go. And Nikisha is on here. She
Dunn's
said,
River Falls. That's right.
okay.
That's what it's called.
She said, okay. She said my wife is a queen. Absolutely.
Who said that?
Nikisha said she is a queen.
Oh, you so
Yes, indeed.
sweet.
She said, but you got her for yourself. The food is off the chain. The home of jerk seasoning.
Whew, that's good.
So I haven't had the true jerk. I've had it here.
You're going to love it.
But there, I'm sure it's a totally different level.
You're going to love
Yeah.
it. And I have to say something for our single brothers. Yeah, they packing.
The sisters.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the sisters. Let's talk about the sisters. No.
You got sisters.
Yeah,
But
I sure do.
yes,
I sure
they're
do.
beautiful
Yeah.
women. And again, the atmosphere, the culture, the food,
Yeah.
all of that.
I think there's so many beautiful Caribbean islands.
It is.
And I don't now, Nikisha, let me know if I'm correct or not. Is Jamaica considered a U.S. territory? I don't think it is. I think Jamaica is its own independent country.
Right.
I know it was, I believe it was colonized by the British, I believe. But I don't think it's a U.S. territory.
It's not.
So correct me on that.
I don't think
I'm
so,
thinking
no.
Okay, yeah.
No,
but I know
she'll
that
let
some
us
of
know.
the islands there in the Caribbean are.
Yes.
Like I think Saint Martin or the Virgin Islands and so
Yes.
forth are,
They are,
American
yeah.
territories. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that we definitely need to get there.
We have to
Where do you suggest for your first time going to Jamaica? Should it be like Kingston or Montego Bay or?
I didn't do Kingston, so I can't say, but I can only say about Montego Bay.
Okay.
The experience for me was absolutely awesome, and the resort was so much fun. So for me, it was Montego Bay and Ocho Rio.
Okay.
She was right. Nikisha is right. No, it's not a U.S.
I didn't think so.
territory. No.
She said, now you want to talk about the sisters. No. I
Right.
got mine, so we're good on that. But brothers, again, like my wife has said, the women out there are beautiful. So if you're
Yes.
single, go out there, have a good time, be safe, be smart.
Yeah.
But go explore as well.
Yes, and experience the food.
And experience
It's
it. Yeah.
awesome.
So we're gonna definitely get to Montego Bay here soon.
Yes.
We're gonna definitely have to do that together, baby.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. And it is not in the U.S. I didn't think so. So you guys, our last one for tonight is one of my favorite cities and favorite destinations that I've been to. And I didn't get a chance to go with my wife yet, but I will. I definitely want to get her there. And
You went with Vandale.
I went with Vandale. Vandale, we were playing some gigs out there.
Yeah.
And doing some shows and stuff. And this city is one of my favorites, you guys, and it is London, UK, London, England.
Yes.
And man, for me as a creative and for me as a musician, the energy in London is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, coming from America, they made us feel like we were high caliber celebrity musicians and artists out there. But, there's rich history in London. But if you're single and you're wanting to explore, there's tons of nightlife out there. I'm not necessarily into that, of course, but There's tons of nightlife, and there's tons of stuff to see and experience in London. The one of the weird things was seeing everything backwards there. So you're driving on the right side of the road, the left side of the road, whatever. So everything is switched there. And so it was weird kind of getting used to that. I would not drive out there in London. I just wouldn't do it because I would turn the wrong way and be headed into traffic. But now London's vibe is off the chain. I love the energy again. And they love us as artists and as creatives from America there.
That's awesome.
The food. The food, y'all. The food. London, England, come on now. I guess I didn't go to enough places because like on every corner where we stayed, Vandell and I, we stayed in Islington.
Okay.
Islington is not necessarily in central London, so we were on the outskirts. But I love Islington. I mean, we could literally walk around the town at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we did. And the only thing that would be up at that time were the shish kebab places, right?
Yeah.
And where you can eat like the shawarma wraps and different things like that.
Right.
So all the kebab places, there's a kebab place on every corner. And so, you're eating lamb kebabs and chicken kebabs at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but London has such, I love their camaraderie there. And again, as an artist, as someone who appreciates the art, there's tons of it to explore.
That's good.
There's tons of things to see in London. So but the thing about London is expensive. London is high, y'all. London, if you're trying to get to London, a flight to Africa will be cheaper probably getting into Africa than it will be into London. Seriously.
Wow. Yeah.
London is, for whatever reason, London is expensive to get to. And then the hotels are expensive.
Right.
Right. And they're small. Again, kind of like Tokyo, I was telling you, the rooms are quaint and small there in London. And so you're not going to get a huge room, with a whole bunch of space, but they are clean, they are quaint, and they are nice there. I had a good experience with the British people. We had no issues or anything like that because there are black people there and there are people of color there. There are people from around the world. London is very much a melting pot. So there's all kinds of people from like New York City. There's people from everywhere that live in London. And one of my favorite places to visit there was Camden Town. And Camden Town, where you got all kind of music going on and cultural things that are going on. You got street artists and so forth and then you can do some great shopping there in Camden Town, where you can. I think I bought this in Camden Town.
Oh.
This piece right here. So they all got kind of. If you love funky jewelry and necklaces and rings, and that's my style. You'll love London because it has it to offer. And so you guys, for me, London so far is one of my favorite destinations. But I think Egypt came in and just blew
took
that.
It.
Yeah, Egypt came in for the #1 spot. Cairo came in and took the #1 spot from UK.
Even though we didn't honeymoon there, we honeymooned we got married in Hawaii, and so.
We honeymooned in
we honeymooned in
France.
Paris.
Yeah, France.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still love Paris. I still love it.
That's got to be a do-over again because, I don't think we stayed there long enough, and we stayed on the outskirts.
When you say we don't stay long enough, you'll stay somewhere a month, and it's not long enough.
Come on, man. I'm telling you, I will be there for a couple of weeks to a month. But for France, I think one of the things is we stayed outside of the city.
We did.
So it took so long to get into the city where everything is.
We stayed in the Disney resort.
We stayed in the Disney resort.
Yeah.
And so that's
nice.
it was nice.
Yeah.
And it was on the outskirts of the city, so it took a while by subway.
About 40 minutes.
Yeah, to get into the city.
Yeah.
And so doing that sometimes with the traffic and all that different stuff, it can be, kind of timely doing it.
Yeah.
So we got to do over with France.
We got to do over with France. And I know that we didn't talk about a lot of American cities and everything, but I have to say, just as my favorite, and you know this, one of the places, if you guys have never visited, if you've never gone there, one of my favorite cities in this country ever, I'll say two. The first one is New York, hands down.
Yeah.
The second one is actually San Francisco.
Yeah.
I
San Fran
love
is dope.
San Francisco. It's just dope. But
Yeah.
New York has the energy, the flavor, the vibe. I think I've been to New York probably almost 15, 20 times. My brother lived there for almost 23 years. He lived in Brooklyn first, then he moved to Harlem. And he introduced us to some of the most awesome places off the beaten path that people don't even, know about, that it's not touristy and stuff. So things that we got a chance to experience. And again, San Francisco, love the city, beautiful city, rich in culture, multicultural as well. Just and the food there is excellent, awesome. Just love that. And one other place I want to mention that we did go together that we did not show is Martha's Vineyard.
Oh yeah, Martha's Vineyard
Massachusetts.
in Massachusetts. Yes, and we got a chance to visit there. Her brother owns a home there, summer home there, and so we got a chance to hang out in Martha's Vineyard. And you would fly into Boston, Massachusetts, and then from Boston you can take a bus ride. I think it's Peter Pan.
It's
the
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan bus line from Logan Airport down into Martha's Vineyard, where they let you off at the dock, and then you would take a ferry over into the island of
take
Martha's
about an
Vineyard.
hour.
Yeah, and so great experience, beautiful weather, beautiful scenery in Martha's. So that was probably one of my favorites here in the States as well.
And see, when we go from New York, you take I-95. And so we would drive. My brother would drive it when we were coming from New York. But you're right. To fly in, we fly into Logan International Airport, which is in Boston.
Right.
And I'll tell anyone, you guys don't know the history of Martha's Vineyard. For people of color, you need to find out.
You need to go. I mean, there's people, black people there with big money.
Yes.
High professionals. Into banking, into your medicine, you name it.
Yes.
I believe the Obamas even have a summer home there in Martha's Vineyard.
My brothers ran into him and his family have ran into them.
Absolutely. So that's a great destination. I'm glad you brought that up. Martha's Vineyard, you guys, in Boston, Massachusetts, is a great destination. And again, there's a lot of rich history there, particularly those for people of color.
Yes.
And it's right here in your own backyard.
It is.
And there's tons of flights on American, even on Spirit. We flew on Spirit. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah, we flew Spirit.
We flew Spirit into Boston, Massachusetts. And the thing because I research everything except for going to Costa Rica, I research everything. So there was no surprise for us flying on Spirit.
No.
I did all my homework. I knew what they were going to charge us for. I knew what the ambiance was going to be. All we needed was a way to get into Boston, and we were good. Right. And so, Martha's Vineyard is a dope.
It is, and that's the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, it's Atlantic.
Atlantic, that's right, Atlantic Ocean.
That's Atlantic.
I've been to a lot of places, you guys, so forgive me. But when I tell you, YouTube it. Look it up.
Yeah, look up
the rich history with Martha's Vineyard. When I tell you that's a destination that you would say, what?
Yeah,
Martha's here in the United States.
Yeah.
Martha's Vineyard is dope, and it has different little islands. You have Vineyard Haven. You have because Martha Stewart has.
Martha Stewart,
she has a.
Well, there's a lot of celebrities and stars that have homes. Yeah, the Kennedys have the compound. I believe in that area.
Yeah.
And so when you go, there's tons of shops, there's restaurants, a lot of seafood, of course. If you're into seafood, you will not be disappointed in Martha's Vineyard at all, you guys. And so I just want to go through some of the comments because people have been leaving. And she would say, okay, I think I saw our sister Mary Jones is on here. So Mary Jones, shout out to you. She is on. Our sister Turner is on here, and she said, I definitely want to experience the food. Nikisha is saying that I've never visited my colonizers, but I have been to France, and it's on my bucket list. Our sister Tony Peters is on. Shout out to Tony Peters, sis. I know
Hey,
it's late.
sis.
I know it's late. So if you're on with us, let us know that you're on and hit us up with a comment, and definitely tell our brother Apostle Larry that we send our regards and our love to him as well. Let's see. My man Ronald Davis is in the building. He is on. Man, you're supposed to be asleep because I know you got a flight in the morning. Yeah. Brother man is heading to Orlando to go preach the good news and the word to the people out there in Orlando, Florida. So proud of you, brother. Love you, man. And be safe and go out there and enjoy, man. Go see Disney. If you can, take one day and go be a kid, man. Go be a kid.
Yeah.
Just go be.
Because we've been to Disney all over the world.
Yeah, we've been to like 3 or 4.
Here.
Yeah, we've been to like 3 or 4
Together.
Disney.
Yeah.
Except here in America.
Yes.
Right? So I've been to Disneyland in Anaheim when I was a kid.
I haven't.
But we haven't been to Disney World in Florida.
No.
We've been to Disneyland in Paris, and we've been to the one
Japan.
in Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but we haven't been to one here. So if you go, man, you're going to the biggest one in Orlando, Disney World. So you've got to at least spend a couple hours, man. But
thank you for
tuning in. Go enjoy that and go tune in, man. But again, we love you guys for tuning in tonight.
Yes.
We know we've been on here for a while, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Baby, is there anything else that you can think of? Actually, I want to run down the list from the previous show real quick of some destinations, just to kind of give the viewers some ideas of destinations that we've tried out and that we love, but that they can also go and enjoy and experience themselves.
Yeah, and also a couple of things that would be helpful, and you're better at this than I, the VPNs. Talking about that when you go traveling internationally.
Right. So what my wife is mentioning is what's called a VPN.
Right.
Victor, Perry, Nancy. VPN. And what that is a software that you can download on your mobile devices and on your laptops and so forth when you go travel. Now, why is that necessary? Because in some parts of the world, they don't have as secure internet as we may here in America.
Right.
So you definitely want to be secured and with when you're browsing on your devices, number one. 2 is it's also helpful when you're in another country and you're looking for flights maybe around that country or other countries that you want to visit.
Right.
When you search for flights from a different country, they can sometimes be cheaper, or even hotels can be sometimes cheaper. Right. So a VPN is helpful in that way. But it also strengthens the Wi-Fi connection. So if you happen to be in a hotel that doesn't have a very strong Wi-Fi connection, having that VPN will allow you to do that. And then also, some countries may restrict you from getting on certain websites.
That's right.
So I know that, like, if in some parts of Asia, namely China, if you're in China, they may not necessarily allow you to browse on certain websites. It might be like Facebook you can't get on, or you can't get on Instagram or whatever. That VPN that you download on your device will allow you to bypass their restrictions, and you'll be able to still get on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and so forth. So a VPN is a good thing to have. They're very inexpensive. I'm thinking somewhere around maybe $20, $25 a month. Or you can buy it for the duration of your trip.
Right.
And there's a lot of there's one in particular called Surfshark.
Yes.
And I think Express VPN or VPN Express. These are 2 that we've personally used. They've been good for us. You won't have any issues with them. And then when you're done using it, you can just cancel the subscription until you get ready to travel abroad again. So having a VPN when you're visiting other countries, particularly those that may restrict content and websites from other countries, you're definitely going to want to have that as well.
Right, and we can put that information in the comments for
Absolutely, we'll definitely do that. So again, real quick, we're just going to run through some of the destinations that we talked about in the previous part 1 show. And that first destination we talked about was Ko'olina, Hawaii. You guys, Ko'olina is amazing.
Yes.
You definitely got to try that out. And right now, flights are fairly inexpensive going to Hawaii. You will find that the hotels in Ko'olina can be pretty costly, but definitely worth the money and the investment in doing that.
Yes.
Secondly, Nigeria, Africa.
Yes.
We have not seen Lagos, but we've been into Abuja. We've been to Niger State as well,
Yes.
and Edo State, I believe. And you guys will definitely love Nigeria, one of our favorite countries. The people there that we've experienced have been very warm.
Yes.
There's no other entrepreneurial country for Black folks like Nigeria.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to see the real hustle and bustle, shake and bake of entrepreneurship on this planet, you got to go to Nigeria. And so next we've got Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. You guys, Dubai, you guys already know. You can Google it. There's tons of videos out there. Dubai is the spot, definitely, if you want to see things regarding tech, the skyscrapers, the buildings. It's just massive out there in Dubai. And so flights are plenty. I think you can even fly on American Airlines now if you're here in the States. But we do prefer to fly on Emirates.
Yes.
Emirates is a great airline. You can fly through economy, through first class on Emirates for great rates. So when you check out Dubai, be ready. That's about 15-hour flight from here in the States, from Dallas. Be ready for that flight, but y'all, it's totally worth it. So Dubai is on the list. Check it out. It's gonna be hot there. It's gonna be hot year round when you go to Dubai.
Yes.
So be prepared for
in
the
Nigeria
heat.
as
And
well.
in Nigeria as well. Very tropical heat. So be prepared when you're going there. Next we have Doha, Qatar. They're in the Middle East as well.
Yes.
It is the neighbor of Dubai, and Doha, Qatar has its own style, its own pizzazz outside of Dubai. Sometimes people kind of compare the two, but there is no comparison. Doha is beautiful, very contemporary, very modern, and I would definitely suggest you guys getting to Qatar as well. And one of the airlines that you can get on there is Qatar Airways.
Yes.
Great airline. We had an opportunity to fly business class on there, and it was pretty. It wasn't as expensive as we thought it was going to be. And so they do have different deals that you can take advantage of when flying on Qatar as well. And so Qatar, Doha is the place you want to be. Next we have Nairobi, Kenya. And we didn't get a chance to talk a lot about Nairobi, but Nairobi is beautiful. And that was our first taste of Africa. And when we touched down, we had to kiss the ground, you guys. And so there are plenty of flights there as well. I believe we flew on Lufthansa heading into Kenya. And then we've also flown on Kenyan Airways as well. And so you'll love the wildlife, but you'll love the people, and you'll love the food there. And so oftentimes a lot of people go to Africa and they just want to see the lions and the giraffes and the tigers and the bears and all that stuff, and that's cool. I'm not saying don't do that, but there's so much more to explore in Nairobi and Kenya other than just the wildlife. Do go experience it, but get around the culture, get around the people as well, and you will have an amazing time there. And lastly, we have Hong Kong, China. Hong Kong was one of our favorite destinations as well. And you're talking about hustle and bustle. Hong Kong is humongous. It's huge. When you're flying into it, you see these mountains where the city is kind of embedded inside these mountains. And so you guys, for us, the cuisine was great there. The food was great there. The people were warm there. We got a chance to visit one of the neighboring cities in Hong Kong, which was Kowloon. And we ate outside among the people and the residents there, and people were super friendly. And just Hong Kong is dope. Hong Kong is just an amazing experience as well. So if you guys have some destination ideas, again, leave them in the comments. Hit us up and let us know. But let us know what you guys are thinking. Let us know of some ideas that you may have and share them with us. And if there's some places that you suggest that we check out and go, again, in this podcast, in this live cast, we will be taking this on the road, you guys. And so you'll be seeing us later on in places around the world where we're going to be bringing it to you live and direct here on Living More with the Morgans. So give us some destination tips. Where do you like to go? Where do you want to take your family? Where are some places that you've always dreamed of going? And you know what? If you've dreamed of going there, now was the time to go.
Yes.
Now was the time to experience it. Don't put it off for another 5, 10, 15 years, you guys. and say, oh, because you don't want to get you don't want to get older in age and regret and have any regrets and say, you know what, I wish we would have done that. I wish we could have done that. I wish we could have seen that. No, God has this thing set up for us right now to go and enjoy and to go and experience.
Yes.
Don't let him down by not going to do it.
That's right.
What you think?
I agree. I agree. Go and explore. There's more life. There's more love. There's more to explore. So go out there, explore, and just live.
Absolutely.
Live. And it's time.
It's time to live.
After COVID, it's time for us to realize it's time for us to live.
And we survived COVID for a reason.
Yes.
And surviving and coming through that it's not time to just sit on our hands and twiddle our thumbs and say, oh, thank you, Jesus. No, we're going to thank you, Jesus, but now we're going to start living. And now we're going to start living our lives according to the way that we should be living our lives. This ain't no time to be wasting time. And this ain't no time to be wasting the breath that God has given us. If you have eyes to see, then go see the world. If you got nostrils and lungs to breathe, then go breathe in the clean air in the mountains.
Yeah.
Go breathe in, go to a beach and take in the ocean. Go hear the ocean. Go see the crabs and the sea life walk across the beach with you. Go see it. Go experience it. For those who are in business and always inundated with business, or those who are always inundated with ministry, or you got to do this with your church, or you got to do this with what's going on here. You know what? I believe that when Jesus was walking from place to place, from Capernaum to here, to Jerusalem to here, I believe that he was taking that all in. When he was asleep on that boat, brother man was gunked out snoring. Why? The first time we see Jesus, we don't see Jesus when he's adult. We don't see him at a synagogue preaching. We don't see him, saying, thus saith the Lord to people. No. You know what we see him? We see him at a Jewish wedding kicking it. The man's 29, 30 years old. He would be a millennial today. What do we see him doing? He's chilling with his boys, kicking it. And it was his mama that pressed him to do a miracle. We ain't got no wine, son. And he's like, Mama, what you want me to do? But he was enjoying the ambiance. He was enjoying the scenery. He was enjoying the music. He was enjoying the festivities. So even in all the work that you're going to do, even in all the things that you're looking to build and all the businesses and everything that you're looking to do and all the philanthropy, that's great. Do it. But take out some time to see what God has created for you to enjoy.
That's right.
God is not enjoying the mountains. He created you to go see and enjoy the mountains. God is not enjoying the beach. He created you to go give him praise for what it is that he created.
That's good.
Those sunsets that he paints a new sunset every night. And it's different every night, y'all. That sunrise coming up over the mountains or over the trees or over those skyscrapers, that sunrise is brand new every morning. And he gives you a brand new one, a brand new canvas.
That's right.
He wants you to see it. So when you see it, you give him glory for it. When you see it, you say, man, God, you show us a show off. But you're a bad one and you deserve it.
Yes.
So go do that. Go enjoy life.
That's right.
And start living more. Start loving more. And start exploring more. You guys, thank you again so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
This was part 2 of Y'all Still Trippin'. And so we'll see you next Tuesday night, first Tuesday in April, right here on Living More with the Morgans. Until then, you guys, subscribe, like, follow, hit us up, connect with us. We want to hear from you. We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Have a great week.
Have a good week. Have a great week.
Absolutely.